Quickstep Alpha Vinyl team. Much controversy yesterday, Benji. They do not bring Mark Cavendish to the Tour de France, equal with Eddie Merckx record for Tour de France stage wins. They bring Lampard, Asgren, Cattaneo, De Klerk, Baggioli, Honoré, Jakobsen, Mercu, 3 Danes for a Danish Grand Depart. Cavendish just won the British National Champs. Let's talk about the Cav thing first. He said he found out about it via social media. I think he deliberately was riling up the British public a little bit. Do you think he deserved to go in a vacuum? And do you think he deserved to go on this Quickstep roster?
I think in the majority of teams, he would be at this Tour de France, 100%. But if we look at this Quickstep roster, they've got their sprint train. They've got Fabio Jakobsen as one of the 2 best sprinters of this season, arguably the most successful one, quite certainly. And when you've got that, it's very hard to look past somebody like that. So you have to select Fabio Jakobsen as your sprinter here in this race. But can you combine that with Cavendish also being at this race? And that's where I'm like, I don't think so. I don't see that. And a reason where I don't see it. You would. I know you would. But I don't see that because we saw it before, them trying to combine sprinters. What's Scheldeprijs last year, where Alpecin basically destroyed them as a consequence because Cavendish and Ben were basically riding in each other way as well. So I don't know. I don't see it as a good solution to take 2 sprinters to the race that both will want to sprint on the same sprint stages, especially in a Grand Tour that doesn't have many flat sprint stages in the first place.
So this is how you do it. Fabio gets to do all the sprints in the first until the Alps, right? And then Cav's not allowed to compete. He has to drop at 5Ks to go. He helps us to lead out as 4th last man. Then Fabio's going to OTL in the Alps and Cav won't. And then Cavendish gets to break the record in British National Champs jersey on Champs-Élysées. It's a genius plan. If I'm specialized and I'm sponsoring Quickstep and I see there's no Remco, no Alaphilippe, haven't mentioned he's out because he hasn't recovered from the Liège crash, which is a real shame for the race. He's taken yellow 3 years in a row, I think, and a stage win 3 years in a row. And that sucks for like the long wee stages. He's out, no Remco, no Cav, no Alaphilippe. I'm like, fucking hell, like it's a bit of a marketing nightmare. And I think I'm talking sort of PCM mode here, like taking 2 sprinters. I do think the level between Cavendish and Jakobsen is closer than we think. People are like, oh, well, Jakobsen's won 10 races this year. Cav's won more World Tour races. Jakobsen's won 1 World Tour race, and that's a bit disingenuous because Kerner, obviously, he's not World Tour, but he smacked Ewan after Quickstep brought it back with no lead out. But he's not just been cleaning up World Tour races. In Hungary, he got sat down by Groenewegen on one of the stages. He parked him. And yeah, like, okay, Elfstead and Ronde Baloise is pretty good as well. I do think Cav has had, like the Giro, people are like, oh, well, he didn't have great results in the Giro. He won the first sprint stage of a Grand Tour when he actually had Mercu. Mercu abandoned after 5 or 6 stages. His lead out was absolutely horrendous for the other stages. No lead out. UAE, he was really good. So I do think the level is closer than people think. As Benji said, how much would Bora pay to be able to take Cav with their lead out?
Exactly, but also the aspect of that Giro, like there was also a stage where Milano basically dive bombed into their train and had an effect on that race as well in that way. So I agree that Cavendish was pretty damn strong at the Giro, but I'm still not a fan of combining them.
In all seriousness, on sporting merit, you should probably take Jakobsen. In terms of what I want to see as someone covering cycling in the English-speaking media, obviously I want Cavendish to go. Like this, it would be much better for the Tour, in my opinion. He's way bigger than Jakobsen. Even with the sort of comeback story for Jakobsen, I still think Cavendish is way bigger. Like the BBC was writing articles 10 minutes after his non-selection yesterday. That being said, Cavendish knew he extended with Quickstep. It has been known that Jakobsen was in the prime spot to go to the Tour the whole time. Cavendish was told to stay fit in case Jakobsen got COVID, in case he had the Sam Bennett Monaco doctor knee injury. It didn't happen. So I don't think Cav was under any illusions most of this year, especially when you get sent to the Giro and there's Jakobsen in the squad, like And I don't think Cav was actually, when he's like, I found out on social media. I know you maybe have a different view, Benji. I think he's playing the crowd. I don't think he actually is hurt.
I agree in that aspect, but I've also got the opinion that a good manager still goes to a rider that is on the close reserve list and says it personally before it's being brought out publicly. I think everybody in the team should be aware of the Tour de France team, for example, before it's brought out, whether that's drop it in a WhatsApp group to let them know internally
You
before you
think
bring it
Lefebvre
out on
uses
social
WhatsApp?
media. I don't fucking know. He uses fucking pigeons with
Pigeon.
letters
Yeah,
on
he
it,
uses
probably.
pigeon. Yeah. Oh, I
You
don't
know what
know.
I mean? Like,
Yeah, I
I
do.
think
He should have, because just to avoid this backlash, because you know Mark's going to do this. Like,
exactly. And you know that certain riders are going to play into that, and Cavendish did so, and I can't blame him for that. I probably would have done the same.
I think I watched the British National Champs. I did a video yesterday, and there's a lot of angry comments under that. But yeah, like you see in the interview, Cav, he's kind of like winking. He's like, "Oh, maybe I'm good enough." But yeah, he's out. It's a big shame because he's top 5, top 6 sprinter in the world at the moment. Would that be the case if he wasn't on Quickstep? Maybe not. But it's so annoying, and this is why you have to blame him partially. He re-signed with Quickstep, knowing this might happen, that we won't have one of those sprinters in the race. We don't have Merlier in the race. And next year, Benji, Merlier's coming in. Yeah, it's going to be another big fight between Jakobsen and Merlier.
Then you look at Bajoli. That's a rider that had a lot of talent at the start of his career. Punchy type, has a low-key sprint in a reduced group. Then eventually got second in the Vuelta stage last year. Won a French Ardèche, I think, or something, early season last year or the year before. Like, he's been popping his head out, but has not broken through. And I don't see it. I think he's a breakaway rider in this team, from what I can tell. Then, because what else can he do? Is he going to fight for a long week? Are they going to ride for him?
They have to. I know Alaphilippe normally would have gone for it. He looks to me like the Alaphilippe replacement. So they have to go for it. Otherwise, they don't really. And like Catania apparently is in the team he'll pull like in the last 10Ks of stages and to maintain GC position after the TT before Arenberg. But Asgreen should be higher up in the TT or around that range as well. So it's not the best Quickstep team we've seen from both a performance or marketing perspective. Zwift is the perfect training playground with training plans, structured interval sessions, or group workouts at your disposal, no traffic lights, and some flat courses too mean it's perfect for a recovery spin, which is how MVDP has used it after big training blocks and preparing for the Tour de France. To get involved and join Zwift's massive community, head to Zwift.com for your free 7-day trial. And most importantly, during the tour, join the LRCP Zwift Club using the link down below. You can join Benji and I for rides during the Tour de France, ad hoc ones. We'll just jump into Zwift and you can jump on with us and join us for live chat during the stage on the Discord.